What's up guys, it's me Jack and today we are in Space Engine. So today, I don't really know what we're gonna do yet. So, right. What should we do today? I think we should do more star spotting today because what we did sort of last episode, we was measuring temperatures, for sort of around the planet. Like, for example, we went from Iceland in the UK and then Rhodes. That's basically what we did. And yeah. So as winter is coming on, as you know, our planet is gonna start our country is just gonna get darker and darker. Like here it's August. It's August 12th, which is possibly the last day, maybe not actually. Yeah, maybe not as hard as I think to get through. It probably isn't too hard to get through, really. It may not be a huge problem, but like the channel could end tomorrow. We'll see. But if not, I'll be happy. I'm still gonna upload videos for y'all, and yeah, like we will do Transport Fever 2 and Universe Sandbox tomorrow. So obviously, if I set this to 2025, 12, 21st, it's apparently the longest day. I think not longest, shortest day of the year. Like as you can see, the sun is practically helpless. Like this is freaking. Like the weird thing about that is, this is literally 20 past 3 in winter, and when I go to school, when I walk from my school, it's like it does not even feel that dark as that looks. It just looks more or less just sunset. Like I don't think it really looks like that. Or it may look more like that. I guess it's more normal. That's sometimes how we see our planet, when the sun's setting. I think this is like more realistic photo. This is like more realistic. Then we'll clear up for all the stars to shine. But the stars are nowhere to be seen. Which is odd. Where's my freaking light? HDR, is that the one? Man, I'm bloody skipped my planet, that's probably why. Okay, so this is Earth here. -7 degrees. Yeah, that I don't think that's 100% true. I don't think it would get that cold at times. -38. Yeah, cold. -100 degrees, probably. Or cold as it gets, apparently. -100 degrees as you get up. -101. That's probably the coldest it can get. Apparently up in the air, -100 degrees. But if I go all the way to Mars, I'm gonna go to the night side and look for Mars. I think I'm going to compare temperatures sort of again, but do it more properly, like not just the center or equator of the planet. We're going to do things a little bit differently, but we are mostly just going to spot for any stars or anything. Capella, Jupiter, Sirius, Alphard, Canopus, Sirius, Menkar, Saturn. Where's Mars? Mars is in the other side of the freaking planet. Other side planet. So apparently you gotta go this way. And it's right by the side of the sun. Just can see it as it sinks down to the equator. This is Mars. Average temperature -56 degrees, which is pretty horrifying. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's horrifying. Right, let me go to Mars then. Let's see how cold it gets. Right, we're just going to land. Surface sea altitude. Temperature here 10 degrees. 10 degrees. What? Okay. This is daytime, like right in the equator of Mars, apparently. What the hell? Alright. Let me go to another side of Mars. Let's see the sunset of Mars. Tell you like that. Oh! Minus 142 degrees? Yeah, that is cold. And then over time, as you go this way, it gets warmer. Weirdly, so much warmer after that. 1 degrees. 6 degrees. Does it get any warmer? Colder, maybe? I think that's what will happen. What the heck? Oh, I'm going around the planet. So I guess the warmest it gets apparently is 10 degrees. I think that's the warmest it can get. So, right. Okay, let me check out. Obviously, the very top. Clouds. I don't think clouds are real, but I'll turn them on. So yeah, here is minus, well not minus, 13 degrees. And if I go to average feet of an airline like I did before, 35,000 feet, I bet it's going to be freezing up there. Minus 13. Minus 13? Okay, that's a bit odd. Let's go to more polar, or the other side of Mars. I think other side we'll have to do. Oh, yep. Minus 72 degrees. Up in the air though. Bloody hell, I bet it's going to be so bloody cold. You'd probably die from it. I think you would. Minus 90. Alright. Now it's cold. So, right, we're going to move on to another planet. Jupiter makes you stupider. Let me go there. Let me land in that band. So this is 13 miles high. And anyways, the temperature apparently. Minus 105 or minus 147. That's interesting. Minus 150. Wait, what? 206 degrees Celsius up in the air. What the hell? 106? 206 degrees and then... What the hell? What? Jeez, it's hot up there apparently, but very cold down in the surface. Average British temperature 20 degrees is apparently there. But when in the surface it'll be minus 110ish if you got all the way down. Yeah, Jupiter's crazy. Let me go to Pluto. We landed. So, oh heck, even daytime, I think like right in the equator, it is minus 227.72 degrees. Oh, jeez, that's cold. That is cold. And apparently it somehow gets colder as you go down. That is weird. Alright, apparently it gets colder if you go more underground, and then it gets warmer as you go up in the air. That's not how it works. This is like this is the bloody opposite effect. That makes the opposite effect. I think it's because it doesn't have an atmosphere. I think that's why. Because I'm pretty sure it does trap your heat or makes it certain things cold. I think that's how it works. So if I go up to 35,000 feet, minus 219. Not much colder. Right. If I go up to 100,000 feet, just apparently 40,000. I need to read this. 10 miles. So 20 miles high, apparently. Minus 219. What the heck? What the frick is Pluto? So yeah, this is like a far object, and that's an average how bloody cold it gets. Right, let me go to a hotter planet this time. Let's go to freaking boiling Venus. Venus, yep. The absolute heat. The hottest planet in the solar system for some reason. Mercury. Milky Way. What the hell? Sabic. No. Venus. Mars, I assume that is. What the hell? Mars. Jupiter. Oh, that's Saturn actually. That's Saturn. Earth. Jupiter. I think if you went to the top of where the orbitable chains are, so if you go like top of the sun, I think you could see a lot of planets going through there. Like no matter where you are in the sun, I think you could literally see your entire solar system. Or can you actually? I think that might do the opposite effect actually. But we will have to wait for ages for any planets to go around properly. Like, as you can see, I think I need to keep going more down this way to make it a bit clearer. Make the orbits more clear. Right, I think that should do alright here. So, this is our Earth, I think. And then, right, let me go zoom in. This is Earth. Jupiter. Another couple stars. Mercury. Where is Venus? I assume Venus. Right, Venus. Venus is literally there. And then Mars is there. And then Saturn is there. Bloody hell. Uranus. Oh, what the heck? Uranus. Neptune. Neptune's there, and Pluto. Pluto's there. Okay, so I'm going to zoom into every single planet that's visible to us. So let's see, and kind of guess on Earth where, like, what part of the world are we facing? So let's zoom in. Right, so we're basically facing near Australia and Antarctica. This is and New Zealand. And then we can't. Is this the US or is this somewhere in Asia? I think that's somewhere in Asia. I think that's Asia. And I think if you went, which way would you go to the US? Maybe this way around? I think you would go that way to get to the US. To get to the UK, I think you have to go more towards this way to get to the UK. So I think that's how it works. But if I turn my orbits on, I'm actually going to turn it on for now. Right. Does the Earth really just spin, you know? I don't think it spins by much. Right, so, yeah. I don't think much has still happened. I don't think much has happened yet. We might have to wait a little bit until we see another part of the planet. Right, let me check this point. Where do we have now? We've got a bit of Africa. Africa's there. I think more of Asia's there. But we need to wait till we get to the UK. Let's see if we can find it. Maybe around now. There we go. Africa still. It's still more or less facing Africa. We could just barely see Spain and France. I don't think we can quite see the UK very well here. I think we could just barely see it and then that is it. I don't think you can see anything else after that. Right, let me zoom out a bit more. I'm going to wait a little bit. And this is the Earth speed of orbitable period. Maybe about now? Right, we're apparently in South America. I think we're past it. I think we went a little bit too fast, maybe. Let's see. Maybe we just won't be able to face Britain, since it's obviously winter for Britain. Let me actually set it to a different time of year. 20. Dot. Alright, I'm actually going to set it to an autumn or spring month, because that is technically when the Earth is sort of midway through, I think, of like its tilting. So, what is an autumn month? It's autumn or spring month. I'm gonna do like mid of it, like in middle of the year, spring. Because I think at some point, June 23rd in the UK is the longest day, and then after that, the sun starts to set more towards winter. So, but I need like a midpoint, you know, like when it's tilting, so we can actually see a lot of the planet. So I'm actually gonna set it to, but I might have to go to another side of the sun though. That's what I might have to do. Alright, wait, okay. 2025 dot. Anyways, right, so which is a spring month? So we've got March, April, May. April, we're gonna do April. Mid month, I think 15th or 16th. I'm gonna do 15th at 12. There we go. I think that's how midpoint of it should work, maybe. I might be wrong though, but I'm gonna look. Is the Earth right there? Yep, that's Earth. Right, let me zoom in. Can we see more of the planet now? Yes, we just can. So we can see the UK, we can see France, we can see Germany, we can see Italy, we can see Greece. Rhodes would look a bit weird there. Rhodes is somewhere there. Spain, UK, Denmark, Poland, Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia, Russia. Just naming off countries, I guess. South Africa. We've got quite a bit of Africa, but we can't quite see Oceania. I don't think we see quite much of it at all. But this is more or less somehow focused on the UK. But well, I'm gonna sort of do it for autumn now, 2025 dot. What is a mid-autumn month? Is it October 10, 15th at again 12? I'm going to set it to October and see what we do end up seeing. We're going to see probably most likely more of the southern hemisphere, and it's in a different side of the sun, so we're going to have to move around until we can just see the planet. Right. I think that should be a good position. So we're going to zoom in on Earth. So, yeah, it's roughly the same thing, you know, it is quite the same thing as what we did see for spring. Except, actually, no, I think it is more or less similar. Or is it? Let me turn clouds off here to see a bit clearer. I think the way it happened before, I think like this part was more towards this part of the Earth, and I don't think we saw much of South America. Or did we see quite a bit of South America? It's kind of hard to tell, you know, at times. It is sort of going the opposite way around. But yeah, this is the UK, this is Ireland, Scandinavia, the Baltic countries, Russia, and yeah, Ukraine, Romania. It's still all there. So, we have technically zoomed in on enough on Earth and the moon. Is it facing Earth or not? Is it going to be facing Earth? Well, I don't know. We don't fully know though, because we light up the moon. So technically it is always going to look like a full moon because we light it up. So, it's not a very fair test. Let me go for another planet now. So, Venus. Venus is down this way. So, let's just go all the way there. Let me go like this. Oops. Is this a circling point? That's like the circle point. That's a very circly point actually. I think that way that looks like a circular point. So yeah, we're gonna look up at Venus. Just go for a bit of a zoom in. Average temperature is 465.79 degrees. I'm pretty sure that's hot enough to melt lead if you go to its surface. Like, it will. Probably even melt metal. It's like an oven, more or less. So, it's like an oven. Right, let me check out Mercury. Mercury is somehow in the other side of Venus. That is Mercury right there. Oh my god. Yeah, it's a bit laggy to zoom in for some reason. What the heck? Let me go to... Let's go to Mars. Mars is there. Just gonna zoom in it a little bit more. I think we could just see the polar area of Mars, I think. Like, if you look at it. That would look like the polar area. And that's the largest canyon, I think, there. And then the largest volcano's got to be somewhere there. Oh, largest mountain, not volcano. I don't know. I'm not too sure, actually. Right. Okay, I'm actually going to now just go back to Earth and kind of recognize what planets or what stars we get at certain times of the year. So we're going to go back to Earth. We're going to go to the UK. I'm turning clouds off for this because this will cause a bit of disruption on what we see. So there we go. So this is in the middle of autumn. So I'm going to set times for the winter. So what would be the time we could see stars? When does the sun usually set? I think it's about 4 o'clock it gets dark. There we go. So what we do is just see here. That's the moon. The moon is setting at that too. A very, very faded moon. You know, like a bit of a... This is not even a quarter. That's more or less a freaking crescent. That's a crescent moon that we basically cannot see. What's this star? Saturn. That's Saturn. Alright, let's zoom that in. Yep, the one with rings. It's always looking twisted, you know, the way Saturn looks. Normally, like, I always see Saturn as like twisted, never like straight, you know, like this. We usually don't see Saturn like this. We always end up seeing it like twisted. Like that, more or less. It's a weird thing, really, to look at Saturn like that. So, let's check out this. This is Capella in the constellation of, I think, is it Auriga? Let me check. Auriga. Yeah, it's Auriga. Auriga, that's the one. Then, so we're gonna just check out random stars. Polaris is in Canis Minor. Canis Ursa Minor, not Canis Minor. Bloody hell. They're kind of similar. Ursa Minor. Ursa Major is this way. This is Alkid, I think that's Alkid. Yep. That's, what's this one? Mizar, and then it's Alioth. Then here is, I need to memorize what these star names are. I don't know. Merguez. This one I think is Derby. Derby, yep. This one, Merak, and Pector, right? Okay, this is Ursa Major. What the heck? What the hell's it? Oh, Vega in Lyra. Yep, I know this one. I've seen that star a lot when I was stargazing. It particularly comes in the summertime. Or does it? Apparently, this year we may see more Lyra even in freaking winter. What? That is odd. I think normally Lyra would be more or less down this way, you know, more towards the north. Like, it's proper set. I think it is setting though anyway, so yeah, I think it is setting. So yeah, this is Lyra, this is Vega, and then what's the star beside it? This is a Greek symbol, another symbol. What's this? I don't know that one. Chiliac and Sulfat. Solafat, there we go. I need to look at certain constellations for me to recognize them. Pegasus, or shall I go to Andromeda? Andromeda then. So, I think I need it to be darker for me to recognize them better. There we go. So, what do we see here? Let me turn it back on for a sec to navigate it. So, we've got a box. So this is Alphrataz. I think it's the brightest star. Skahit, Markab, and okay, that's a symbol. Pegasus. That's Pegasus. Merak, Hamel, Elimormath. Okay, that's the Andromeda Galaxy right there. There we go. M31 Andromeda. This is a galaxy that will, in a very long time, is going to collide with us and turn to Milkdromeda. Capella, that's in Auriga. What do you know? Can you recognize what that is? That is called the Pleiades. It's like a group of stars, like in a nebula, like stuck together. It's also known, I think, as the Three Sisters. Is that a different thing I'm thinking about? I think it's based on like the Three Sisters, like kind of thing, you know, like some kind of mythology or something. I think it's something to do with that. I'm not too sure. This is Ursa Major, like we just saw earlier. Hercules, Vega, Rastban, Atamin, that's in Draco. If you turn that on, it's Draco, there we go. Ursa Minor, Polaris is there. Got more stars here. Korcab, Furcab, Ursa Minoris. I'm gonna look for basically Canis Major, where the brightest star in the night sky is. It should be there somewhere, I believe. It has to be there. Gemini, Lynx, Auriga, Taurus, Ursa. Maybe we can't. Wait. Where's the brightest star? That's Altair, Saturn, Altair, Tarzad. Tarzad is that, I think. Then that's Alshane, Aquilia, Fomalhaut, Saturn. Can we find Sirius anywhere? I'm pretty sure it comes this time in winter. Apparently not. I think it goes up in a little bit later. This is Orion, a very iconic constellation. This one is Betelgeuse. That's the star apparently known to explode quite shortly if you think about it in space years. It's about to explode soon. Bellatrix, and then we've got the Orion's belt containing Mintaka, what's this one? Alnilam? Yep. And Anlitak? Yep, Alnitak, yeah. And then we've got another quite bright star, Rigel. I think that's the brightest star in that constellation. It's this one. Safe. And then we've got the Orion Nebula near Hatzia. This is the Orion Nebula, as you can see here. And then a star cluster. It's this one. Is that the Fire Cluster? Flame Nebula. This is Jupiter. Jupiter makes it Jupiter. Okay. Polaris. Right, let me take the thing more here. Right, this is the star that is the brightest in the sky. This is Sirius, or apparently known as Alhaber. Alhaber? I think you do say it in different ways depending on what like kind of language or mythology you're into. I think you kind of say it differently or see it differently. I think you do say things slightly differently. Like apparently this is Halijoy for Capella in a certain language or in some kind of mythology. But yeah, this is Sirius A and Sirius B, as it's a binary star system. This is B, this is A, but does that have any more? I'm pretty sure it might have more than just that. Where is the bloody planetary stuff? It should be able to show us. Oh yeah. It just has Sirius B, Sirius A. That's kind of it. That's the barycenter. And yeah. I think we are going to leave it here for today. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe if you want to, and I'll see you later in our Nimby Rails video. So remember, we are going to expand from sort of Worksop near that where we did that triangle. We're going to do that and go down via Mansfield down to Nottingham. Again, we're going to do a Nottingham line, but we are going to expand down to Mansfield and Sutton and Ashfield and other areas. So yeah, we're going to do that line today. So yeah, I'll see you guys later.